Hi everybody, it's Marie here from Pear Tree Cut Files. Now today I'm taking part in a very special hop to celebrate my good friend Rebecca Moore reaching 500 subscribers on her channel. So I am lifting one of Rebecca's layouts. Now you just saw it there pop up on the screen, and I've popped it there just in the left hand corner so you can see it as I am creating my layout. Now Rebecca loves a bit of mixed media, so I decided I would get my mixed media bits and pieces out and have a go. I love using mixed media. I don't use it as often as I probably should. I really do enjoy it. I have had a few disasters recently, but hey ho, we all have disasters. So this one didn't go quite to plan in the end, and I'll talk you through it as it goes along. So what you've just seen me do, I'm using basil, marshmallow? The cardstock that's the stuff specifically, it's much thicker for using mixed media with. So, and I'm also using my water soluble crayons there. I love those crayons. They are so easy to mix, to get a mixture of colour, because the colour that I wanted to use wasn't quite one of the crayons, so I just put a bit of each colour on that piece of plastic there and was able very easily to mix them together just using the water. They dissolve in the water really easily as well. So I've done like a pinky colour, pinky peachy kind of colour. I'm now doing a grey, and you will have seen me pull off one of the pieces of the cut file I'm going to use and keep popping that on top because I'm trying to match the colours in that cut file. So now I'm doing a little bit of yellow, and the idea is that this mixed media will fit behind that heart shape. Now I've created a pear tree cut file to use for this, and it will be part of the May release, and it's called Heartburst. So it's a bit like a sunburst, but it's a heartburst, so I've called it Heartburst. So that will be available as part of the May release. Here's the cut file. So it's just a heart with sections missing. So I just place my the full sheet on there to start with, so I can just start to position where the heart's going to go and all those separate little pieces. Now Rebecca on hers has slightly larger gaps. I think she might have done a similar thing to cut up a heart, but then to take some of the pieces out. Because I've used such a heavily patterned paper, I have decided to kind of leave all of those pieces in. Now this is a piece of paper from More Than Words by Cocoa Vanilla Studio. And I love using pinks and florals, especially if I'm in the picture. So I'm scrapping a picture of me and my son on a holiday in Devon, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. About 3 or 4 years ago. And we were on a swing that was on the complex where we were staying near a forested area, so I had to get some pictures on there. So I've been wanting to use this paper for ages. I don't have much of the More Than Words collection. I only have a few pieces of paper. It's all I could get. I discovered Cocoa Vanilla after this collection had already been released. So I have fussy cut this giant floral. I just love the floral. I fussy cut that giant floral. But in the end, decide that it's just not going to work, and I'm not going to be able to put that on there because it's too similar to the heart and it just gets lost. Now, I wasn't in love with my mixed media. I wasn't happy with it. There were some big areas of pink that were sticking out that I couldn't seem to cover. And they were annoying me greatly. So I decided, right, that's it. I'm not going to use the mixed media side. Never mind, just call it a bad job and carry on. So then I turned over the sheet of paper and decided, right, I'm just going to use the plain white. So now I'm fussy cutting some butterflies from another sheet of the More Than Words collection. These are lovely. They're kind of peachy, pinky yellows. And I had this idea to kind of have them all around the heart and like coming out from the heart. I decided my photograph was just a tiny bit too big and I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, so I've cut it down. It was 3x4, it's just now slightly smaller than 3x4, and I've matted it on a piece of white. I do like a white edge around a photograph. I realise there's something on the bottom there that shouldn't be there, which is what you see me try to pick off that sheet. Now I'm using the back side of that floral paper, that grey, that gorgeous like grey wood grain, and then some of this black. I felt that the colours on here were very pastel, and I just wanted something to kind of bring it all together and to make it pop. And there's bits of grey all over, and then there's the middles of the butterflies, which are really quite a dark. I think they are black, So I wanted to kind of draw all those things together by just using a bit of matting around that photograph. So I'm now just distressing the edges of all these pieces of paper, all the pieces of the heartburst, just to give them an extra little bit of texture, especially now I'm on the plain side. You do see me turn back over very shortly. But right now I'm on the plain side, so I knew I wanted a bit of distressing. I do like a distressed edge. And then I've pulled out these foam words. Now these aren't from the More Than Words collection. I think these are from the Unforgettable collection. So I've used a few bits of the Unforgettable ephemera and that title because it just, like I say, I just don't have very much of the More Than Words collection at all. So I decided I wanted Love You, and there we go. We're going back onto the side with the hearts. Because it just wasn't working. And then I thought I just wanted to cover up those really dark areas of pink. And there's one area where I don't know if my gesso didn't go on the page quite right, because you saw me at the very beginning of the video gesso the page so that I could move that colour around rather than having it soak in straight away. But I don't know if it didn't go on right or didn't cover right, but there's a really weird area of coverage, and I just wasn't happy. But I am finally happy with the position of the heart down in this bottom corner, and it just seems to work better. So Rebecca's was slightly up towards the top left, mine's bottom right, but it's the same sort of thing. I'm still trying to get that floral on, but it just gets lost and it doesn't make it. I do keep it, but it doesn't make it onto the page. Now at this point I decide, right, I want loads more of these butterflies because I can't, my plan was to have that floral on there, but it like I say, it just wasn't working. So without any additional florals, I needed something, so I decided to do lots of butterflies that I'm going to overlap onto the heart and then have coming off the heart as well. So there are a few different coloured butterflies, different shades, so making sure I get a good mixture of the different ones and kind of spreading them out so that they look like they are flying almost through the heart, away from the heart, and then there's a few going to be around that Love You at the bottom as well. And I'm really pleased at this point because I was a little bit disappointed that I wasn't able to use that mixed media background that I'd made, but actually in the end, just by playing with it and turning it around and just giving it a bit of a different orientation, it has worked, and I've got rid of the little bit that you can't see. That's the thing with most mixed media. By the time you have finished, even if it does look a hot mess, by the time you finish, most of it is covered up, which is the case here. Now what I've done here is I've stuck down my picture, I've put some foam on the back of the picture, and I am just going to use my glue now, my wet glue, to just dab a tiny bit of glue under each piece of this heart. So by sticking the photograph on, it's kind of holding the vast majority of the heart in place. Now I'm just putting an extra little bit of glue on to really secure it to the page. But I haven't stuck it all down to the edge, or all the way down to the edges. I didn't feel it necessary. It gives it that textural effect again. Now I'm putting 4 little dimensional pads on each butterfly, folding the butterflies up in half, pressing them down in the middle, and then sticking the pads down, just so that we get a little bit of dimension to those butterflies, and it looks like the body is slightly lower down onto the page than the wings themselves. So just positioning them all over, lots of little foam pads. I have a little tub on my desk as well that you can see it here, that I like to put all my rubbish into. It saves me getting little foam pad pieces everywhere, because don't they just get absolutely everywhere. So there we go, is my butterflies. I think I do another couple. I can't help myself. They're so pretty, and I do love a bit of fussy cutting. So just one more going to go on there now. I think it's just one more. I think that is my last one. Does it? Yeah, goes down there at the side of the throat. Oh no, I'm going to do another one. Clearly I really like the butterflies. Oh, I think I want to put one at the other side of the photograph. Yes, I do. To balance that up now. And then I decide it needs a little bit of grounding. I want to kind of attach it and kind of ground it down. Now, I did try off camera using a piece of just solid black cardstock, and I was thinking of trimming down the whole thing just slightly and putting it on some black. In the end, I didn't like the way it looked. It was too heavy around the edge. So what I decided to do is tear a couple of sections of paper out from around the edge and pop in 2 pieces of that black patterned leafy paper that I've also used to map my photograph onto. So that kind of ties everything together really nicely. So just a little bit of glue on there, position it, hold it down for a second, and then that's done. And then exactly the same along this top edge, a little bit of glue down both sides. I use glue rather than double-sided sticky so I can move it around if it's not quite gone in straight. I am loving the way this is looking now, but I do end up fussy cutting 2 more butterflies to put near those torn sections, just again to tie everything together. I do contemplate, and I think I do try a fussy cut flower here tucked in, but it just got lost. It didn't look quite right, so I've stuck to the butterflies. I'm going to put one there at the bottom and one up at the top as well. So more sticky pads. Now I'm pulling out the Unforgettable Ephemera again, just to pull off a few of these phrase stickers. I'm tucking those round. I think I've got Remember These Days, Don't Forget. And then I love that Every Photo Tells a Story a sticker as well. So that one went in at the right hand side. And I do pull out this Memories one and stick that down the left just to try and balance that Every Photo Tells a Story sticker with the one at the other side. Now I am going to splatter black all over, so you see me put a bit of packaging there just over my photograph just to make sure I don't splatter my whole photograph with black. So lots of lovely little bits of black splatter. And then I'm going to use some Nuvo drops as well in just a second. Although standing those upside down just for a couple of minutes before you start using them is always a good idea, so you don't get a horrible kind of airlock and then a big splat of colour on the page. That wouldn't be great. Lots of Nuvo drops. And then I've pulled out some sequins as well, as you can see. I'm just going around now with some glossy accents. I find glossy accents is the best thing to stick sequins down. So I'm just sticking those down with some glossy accents. And then I'm popping in some of these little pink hearts from Bramble Fox as well. One at the bottom, and then I think I popped 2 up at the top. Just tucked in around those butterflies. Oh no, I put 3 up at the top. Yeah. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just get some black thread, kind of twiddle it up, put one at the top part of the photograph and one just on under the bottom corner of the photo. And that's just a bit more glossy accents just to make sure they stay stuck. And that is about me done. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please do check out the other videos in the hop, which are all linked down below in the description box. And here are a few close-ups so you can see the layout in a little bit more detail. But like I say, thanks ever so much for watching. Please do make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done to me already, and hop along to the other ladies as well and see the awesome layouts in this hop celebrating Rebecca getting to 500 subscribers. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.